All right, race fans, welcome to TurnLeftTV. Be ready for some high-speed action tonight. Step on the gas. All right, race fans, welcome to Road America. This is TurnLeftTV, and I'm your host, Heath Johnson. The High Octane Racing League GT3 Series heads to Road America. Race number 3 of that season. Road America, classic American road course. And we've got a great field out here for you tonight. 50-minute race, and it is going to get crazy. It's Road America here in the GT3 Series, and it is live right here on TurnLeftTV. Well, some GT3 Series action here on a Saturday. It's Road America on TurnLeftTV. Race number 3. Let's get it on. All right, hey, thank you so much for coming in. A little GT3 Series action here for you tonight. Right now, these guys are in the qualification session. Thank you so much for coming in here and joining me on TurnLeftTV. Peace to everybody out there. Man, this is going to be a fun one here tonight, man. Road America is a great track. We had Mid-Ohio last week, so 2 great American road courses in a row. Here in the GT3 Series, and I think guys really like this track. It's not hugely technical, but I'm going to tell you what, it takes some discipline to get around this track and get around it in a hurry. Thanks for coming in. Please hit that thumbs up button and let me know you were here. Peace to everybody out there. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, I encourage you to do so. It's right there. Just give it a little love tap and subscribe to TurnLeftTV. Man, we're almost to 600 subscribers. Man, I'm on my way to 1,000. I want to get 1,000, man. Find 400 of your friends and bring them out here to TurnLeftTV. Hey, thanks for coming in. Again, go down in the description of this race if you'd like to support me here at TurnLeftTV, and click on those links down in the description. Follow it over to the Fanatec website and help me out here. I've got that BMW GT2 wheel rim. Love that, man. It gives me a good feel of GT3 cars, but also a good feel for those stock cars that I like to drive. So I like a little bit bigger wheel rim. A lot of buttons there for me to program stuff on. I love the little rotary encoder on there as well. So that's nice too. We got a couple little joysticks on the wheel itself. Of course, paddle shifting is what I do. I got the DD1 wheelbase. Love that. Definitely have changed my game there as far as racing when I get out and race. And then I got the V3 inverted pedals. So that's what started it all off for me, with those V3 inverted pedals. Absolutely loved them, and I said, man, I'm going to save up my money and buy the rest of this stuff. And I have not regretted it. So also, if you'd like to make a donation to TurnLeftTV, you can click on the link up in the banner of the channel, make a donation straight through PayPal. We just love you coming out here, and you can share my videos with all your friends, and I'm glad you're here to watch a race here on TurnLeftTV. Tonight's race is brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. If you're interested in an rFactor 2 server for your league, please give rFactor or EliteHostingUSA.com a look. Also, website hosting, online store hosting, VPS hosting, and shared web hosting. So all available, 24/7 support. That's EliteHostingUSA.com. And don't forget to surf on over to HighOctaneRacing.net. You'll get schedule information, current times guys are running throughout the week on the servers, as well as points updated and so forth. You'll get to check that out. So upcoming events listed on simracing.net. in our sim racing channels there, highoctaneracing.net. We'll take a look at the track here at Road America. And a fun one. I think I got it switched over. But I got, oh, there we go. Whew. Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. 4 miles in length, 6.5 kilometers, 14 turns. And again, a great track, man. It guys depends on who you talk to. I don't think a super technical track, man, but it does take a little bit of discipline to get around this thing and be competitive. It's got about 3.5 minutes left in the qualification session. Looks like a Roman Rapsev. He told me how to pronounce his name, and it's a little difficult for us Yanks. He is the top time so far. Good to see him back out racing with us. Looks like he's going to put that McLaren between the lines today. A little bit later this evening, we've got the High Octane Racing League Saturday Night Thunder in action at Talladega Superspeedway. Race number 4 of this season. 80-lap race there in that Superspeedway. On that Superspeedway track in the Cup Series, the Saturday Night Thunder. High Octane Racing League's Cup Series coming up at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then next Friday, we'll be at Charlotte Motor Speedway in the High Octane Racing League Bushwhacker Series for race number 7 of this season. 98 laps. Man, we had a great one at Talladega last night. Definitely go check that out on the YouTube channel. Little chat session going on right now with Dennis Vandeven and William Dunbar. Those guys racing in today's race. Also, Richard Brooks in here. Yo, Richard. Hope everything's going okay for you over there across the pond. Glad to see you're here. We'll take a look at the GT3 Series schedule. Of course, we're at Road America here today. Next week, we'll be at Adelaide. Great street circuit there. Skipping a week. Coming back on 23 October, we'll be at Portland International. Dubai GP on October the 30th. Silverstone, November the 6th, and Singapore Marina Bay to finish out the season on November the 13th. So that's the schedule here in the GT3 series. So some different tracks headed your way. Tonight, we got a score to settle with Road America for race number 3. Looks like we finished up the qualification session. Guys getting their finishing up their final lap.
Soul.
We'll take a look at the session results. Roman Yapchev, 202.781, will start in P1. Dennis Vandeven in the Corvette starts in the second position. Bezrikov in the Mercedes will start in third. Artevieta starts in the fourth position of BMW. Look at that parity right there, man. The top 5, actually top 6, all different cars. Vieta starts in fourth. Lucas Simpner in the Radical starts in the fifth position. Starting in sixth will be Spencer Romo in the Aston Martin. Will Dunbar in the Radical starts in the seventh. And Stephen Miller in the McLaren starts in the eighth position. Let's look at the season standings coming into tonight. Nikolai Bezrikov there in P1, 89 points. Alexander Zakharov not here so far. He might come in the warm-up session. Second in points, Will Dunbar third. Spencer Romo sits fourth in points. Actually, those guys tied for third. Spencer Romo, Will Dunbar tied for the third position. Antti Rossi hasn't been here for a couple weeks. Fifth in position. Artevieta is sixth. Dmitry Buksha, seventh in points. Nikolai Gerasimov, eighth in points. Dennis Vandeven, ninth. And Felipe Granado, 10th in points. Now, there are some drivers here that have a weight penalty because of their great success. Try to even things up here. So the heavy load warning. Nikolai Bezrikov, 28 kilograms of weight added to his car. That's like a girlfriend sitting in the car with you. Zakharov, who is not here at 21 kilograms. Antti Rossi not here, 21 kilograms. Artevieta is a small dog there in the seat next to him with 14 kilograms of weight balance. So that kind of helps even out the field a little bit. So Bezrikov going to start with 28 kilograms of weight in the car. So about 8 minutes left here in the warm-up session. So it looks like we have about 5 minutes left to go in the warm-up session. I'm your host, Heath Johnson. This is the High Octane Racing League GT3 series, and we are not at Mid-Ohio. God. I need a whole department here supporting me. We are at Road America. So a little Road America action today here. 50-minute race. This is going to be a fun one, man. So we've got a lot of strong drivers out here, and should be a blast. Thanks for coming in and joining me here on TurnLeftTV. I'll get it right someday. Let's take a look who brought home the victory last week at Mid-Ohio. Speaking of Mid-Ohio, look at that. Nikolai Bezhikov comes away with the win. Artifieta finishes in the second position. Zakharov third. Gerasimov fourth. Those four guys right there had a blast, man. Great racing. But after pit stops, Bezhikov was able to pull away there and get the win, and decided to tear up the car afterwards. So congratulations to him. Nikolai Bezhikov getting a big win last week in Mid-Ohio. Can he make it 2 in a row? All right, man, getting ready to head over to the race here pretty soon. Looks like Michael Brooks joining us in the chat session now as well. Good to see those guys in here. Make sure our side-by-side working, looking pretty good. Always like when things work properly. I think we all do, don't we? All right, boys and girls. Looks like that's the end of the warm-up session. It's Road America today. And this is going to be a fun race.
Attention grid, will all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
All right, let's take a look at the starting order here. In today's race, Roman Rabatsev starts in first, Nikolai Bezhikov second, Dennis Vandeven starts in a third position, Archie Fierro starts in fourth. Starting in the fifth position will be Luca Simfner in the Radical. Spencer Romo starts sixth, Will Dunbar in the Radical starts in the seventh position, and Stephen Miller will start eighth. Sergei Butsev will start in the ninth position in the Porsche. Okay, just a race circuit just a little over 4 miles in length. This one should be a fun race, man. Road America, one of those classic American road courses. And definitely a fun one. Now, the rules here are that you have to make a pit stop, mandatory pit stop, and you have to change 4 tires to a different compound. Oh, those guys almost getting together right there. To a different compound. So if they start out on, say, mediums, they got to change the softs or hards there. I don't think a lot of guys will choose hard tires there. I might be wrong about that, but mainly going to see softs and mediums employed. Soft tires, as you know, are going to wear out a little bit more quickly, but early on will be faster. And the medium tires a little bit slower early on, but will hold for a little bit longer in the run. So what are you going to do? You're going to sacrifice the early part of the run. You're going to race. You're going to sacrifice the last half of the race. That's basically what you're looking for there. These guys are hauling the mail here under the pace speed, man. That space car just gets up and absolutely flies. It was better if these guys kind of go single file here. It'd be nice if they set it where, it might speed up here a little bit, and then just as you're starting to approach the start-finish line, kind of slows down a little bit. Let these guys get tightened back up. So Yapchev in the McLaren will lead the field to take the green flag here at Road America. Side by side right there with Bezhikov. Bezhikov wanting to try to get that early lead in the Mercedes. So a little bit of a dog fight down into turn one. A little bit of room. Pretty clean start for these guys. So Yapchev in P1. Again, nose to tail. Again, clean start here. It's what we want to see. Looking out of the back of Roman Yapchev, his machine, and McLaren at that Mercedes of Nikolai Bezhkov. Dennis Vandeman in the Corvette running in the third position. Take a look at Dennis Vandeman in that 84 car. Got to be thinking good chance of winning this race. For him, he is always one of the top contenders. Right now running in P3. Artie Vieira, man, I tell you what, he was for the while last week, he was the class of the field, and just one little mistake got himself behind the 8-ball. Wrong place, wrong time for him to have a mistake, but he is right now running in the fourth position. Lucas Infiniter in the Radical running in P5. Spencer Romo in... Artie Vieira there sideways with that BMW, and now the Radical closes in there of... Lucas Infiniter. He was trying to capitalize on that. Man, that got crazy, and that's going to tighten it up back there behind as Spencer Romo giving it a look. Man, Vieira almost bit the dust in there, didn't he? Take a look at that replay. This might be a little bit after the fact. This is earlier on there. So not going to get that. Yapchev opened up quite a bit of gap here. 1.4 second gap over Nikolai Bezhkov. Dennis Vandeman, Bezhkov pretty close. Running for P2, P3. Take a look at Stephen Miller here in the McLaren. He is running in the 7th position. Will Dunbar in 8th in the Radical. Just behind them is Sergei Butsev. Haven't seen Sergei out this season yet, so good to see him out. Butsev coming off track right there in that Porsche. A little bit wide for Butsev. We'll go back here and take a look at Sergei Butsev as he comes off track, coming around this turn a little bit wide, gets off the track, no big deal. A little bit of an overrun there, but scary a little bit. Gets back on the track, and he's running in the 9th position. So back up here with Roman Yapchev. Bezhkov 2.5 seconds back in the 2nd position. Vandeman in 3rd. Vieira is 4th. Infiniter rounding out the top 5. So everything pretty no nonsense right now. Most exciting so far has really been the pace laps. Bezhkov here coming into this turn. He comes off track here a little bit, just on the inside, and then using that overrun area on the outside there to get a little bit extra speed through the turn. Vandeman hounding him right now. Take a look at that Mercedes of Nikolai Bezhkov. So he's got the right logo there on the wing of that car. Vandeman starting to close in here into the turn. .1 second lead for Yabatsev. So he's feeling pretty comfortable here. Little battle here as Sergey Butsev looking to move up in the Porsche. He and Will Dunbar battling it out. Will Dunbar in the Radical. Looks like Butsev going to get that spot. But I think he might end up giving this spot back. So Butsev there comes off track, and Will Dunbar capitalizes and gets by. So Sergey Butsev overdrove that turn at left-hander and got off track. Here we go, another battle side by side, Vandeven and Bezhikov. Little Corvette versus Mercedes side by side in the turn. They're leaning on each other a little bit. Butsev on the inside had the preferred line, and Bezhikov had the preferred line and hangs onto that spot. But that was a good little battle right there. So Vandeven, if nothing less, got in the head there of Nikolai Bezhikov. .5-second lead for that McLaren. Roman Rapsev. Check on Artiviera here in the BMW. A little bit of a hiccup there earlier on. A little bit of a hiccup for him a little early on, but was able to hold on to that position running in P4. Lucas Simfer running in the 5th position, the Radical. Number 21 car. And Will Dunbar teaming up, running the Radicals this season. Spencer Romo running in the 6th position. Back up here and look at this battle. There's Vandeven a little bit faster right now than the Mercedes, I believe. He has got to try to find a way to be able to get off of the turn a little bit better and get around that Mercedes. Number 23 of Nikolai Bezhikov coming off track just a little bit. Oh, and he's going to go a little bit wide in the turn. Driving the wheels off that thing right now. So Dennis Vandeven in the 84 car running in P3. Patience. He's looking for an opening. Definitely in the head of our 2nd place car, Nikolai Bezhikov, P2, P3. Hard into this left-hander. Good clean battle between the two of these guys. See, the Mercedes looks to be a little bit better off the turn than what we see with the Corvette. Corvette have a little bit more straight line speed. And we'll see how Bezhikov fares once these tires start to wear out a little bit. I know the Mercedes is sort of notorious for being really pretty loose in the back end. But these guys got to wear each other out. Vandeven there going a little bit wide. Again, this long straight here helping him out. He's starting to look on the low side here. Peeking on the low side, not able to pull that off. Keeping it clean. A lot of guys might have slung that car in there and maybe got the front end of that chopped off. Heck of a battle here. We'll go back up here and look at our race leader. He says, fine, man, you guys go ahead and lean on each other. I can deal with it. I'll go ahead and continue to expand this lead. Side-by-side view of that battle. So we're taking a look at Bezhikov in that lower right frame. And our race leader up here on the top left frame is Roman Yabtsev. Sergei Butsev here wanting another run at Will Dunbar. So Butsev going to get by. So remember, he got by earlier and had a little trouble with the turn. So good little battle there between the Radical and the Porsche. So Butsev now gains a spot. And Will Dunbar, he might end up getting this back. Lucas Simpler having some trouble here. Coming off track. A little bit of overrun right there into the grass. Kicking up some dust. Will Dunbar here says, I want that spot back, man. Will Dunbar on the inside. And, oh, man, that Porsche gets sideways. So Sergei Butsev, just as quickly as he gained that spot, now gives it back to Will Dunbar. These guys getting racy, and Stephen Miller says, man, I hope these guys don't get things organized here. They're going to be all over the back of me here before long, and he's running in P7 in the McLaren. And Speed Detail sponsored machine looking out of the back of his car. We've got a battle here for P2. Look at this. Right there where we saw Van de Ven fast before. Now into the turn, and Van de Ven side by side with Bezhikov. He's got that outside. Bezhikov can't quite get that bite that he needs off the turn, and Van de Ven side by side with Nikolai Bezhikov. And Van de Ven's going to pick up that spot, so a little cat-mouse game right there in the 84. Comes out ahead on that one. So that puts Van de Ven up to the second position. Now we'll see what happens with this Corvette, because he opened up some distance here on the Mercedes. Roman Yabtsev now. We'll think about what's going to happen here. 8.4 second gap on P2. So we'll kind of watch that. See how that changes throughout the course of the run here as Van de Ven has gotten around Bezhikov. He had to really, really work for that. But kudos to both those guys, man. Very clean racing between the two of them. And you're talking about some great race car drivers. Look at that. Speaking of great race car driver here, Artur Vieira in the BMW. He's running in the 4th position. He had a heck of a run going last week at Mid-Ohio. Really think, for the most part, he was the car to beat. He just had a late race incident that kind of took him out of contention. But right now running in P4, and he is slowly catching up to P3. He's about 2 seconds back right now. Lucas Simpler running in the 5th position in the Radical. So everything pretty tame here so far. We'll see how this starts to unfold as tires start to wear out. I'll tell you what, man, we got some great chatters in here keeping the chat lively. Michael Brooks in here cheering on his friend Dennis Van de Ven. Givaldo in here as well. Always a great supporter of HORL. Good to see him in here. Definitely one of my great friends in the sim racing world. Waiting for him to send me some tickets to Sao Paulo, but I guess I won't hold my breath on that one. This kid, Givaldo. And he hit the lottery first. Spencer Romo, Aston Martin. We haven't really talked too much about him. Then Aston Martin running in the 5th position. 14 seconds back. Pretty good run here for him. So Vanderven has not really been able to run away from Bezrikov. He has opened up a little bit of a gap there, about 0.7 of a second. So he is kind of inching away a little bit, but not really able to chip into that race lead. 9-second gap there between he and Roman Yapchev. And again, that may be a little bit different tire strategy for these guys too. You know, somebody might be on mediums and somebody might be on soft, so don't get that information live anyway. So now a second lead for Vanderven over Bezrikov. So that Corvette a little bit faster here. He's opened up a gap on the Mercedes. Stephen Miller and Will Dunbar having a good battle here. Will Dunbar in the Radical. Stephen Miller running in that McLaren. He is running in the 7th position. Will Dunbar in 8th. So good little race here coming across the start-finish line. Don't forget about Sergei Butsev. He's in that mix too in the Porsche. It is 7th, 8th, and 9th. Butsev looking at his car out of the front of his machine at Will Dunbar. Butsev has a heck of a run here on Will Dunbar. Side by side now, the Porsche and the Radical drag racing into the turn. And it looks like Butsev might have the preferred line coming into this turn here. Butsev pulls off that pass, so ends up getting that spot in the Porsche. He runs wide as Will Dunbar goes by. So just as quickly as he got it, he overran the turn again. And we'll take a look at this again as Butsev gets a little bit wide right there, and Will Dunbar able to pounce and get that spot back. So Yapchev has a 10.4 second lead over the pack. So he is continuing to open up that gap, even though Vanderven had gotten around Nikolai Bezrikov. I tell you what, man, I can't help but think that Bezrikov just kind of biding his time right now. This guy is hard to beat. Challenge for him. He asked, hey, what do you guys think I should run? I mentioned this last race. I said, hey, how about the Mercedes? I know a lot of folks have really downplayed the capabilities of the Mercedes, and he took it, man. He said, okay, that's the challenge, and he goes, I'm going to run the Merc. And he's been very successful with that thing. Put it in victory lane already this season. And to tell you what, he is starting to close back in on the 84. So Bezrikov may be saving those tires a little bit, not allowing that 84 to get away from him. Look at him working that wheel through the turn, counter steering and trying to keep that thing straight. Will Dunbar here trying to get around. There's a tight battle here. Side by side with Stephen Miller. Will Dunbar getting that spot. Stephen Miller trying to get this spot back down on the inside. And they are side by side. Stephen Miller coming around and hitting the wall as the Radical Will Dunbar goes by. So Stephen Miller having some trouble. We'll see what happened here. Right here you see Will Dunbar getting by, and then Stephen Miller breaking loose right here and then smacking the wall. A ton of damage there, but definitely hard front end contact and a little bit of a mild back end contact. He was just like he got it maybe on the gas or just a little bit, and the back end of that, he did not have the car pointed straight by the time he started stepping on the throttle. He ends up losing a spot. See Sergey Butsev and what he saw from this. He comes around the corner there and he sees a whole lot of McLaren there in the grass. So back up here live with Roman Yapchev. Dennis Vandeven in second. Bezrikov in third. So Vandeven's been able to open that gap up again. About a second and a half over Bezrikov. Vieta is in the fourth position. Simfeter is in fifth. Remember, these guys have to make a pit stop. We're approaching halfway. 12.7 second lead for Roman Yapchev in the McLaren. Take a look at Spencer Romo in the Aston Martin. Running in the sixth position, about 20 seconds down to the race leader. Got a 3-second gap, 3.5 second gap between he and P5. See Artur Vieta here running in the fourth position in the BMW. Lucas Simfeter in fifth, so pretty tight battle there. And these guys starting to close in just a little bit on Bezrikov. So Bezrikov's car might be falling off here on board with Artur Vieta as you look ahead. It'd be great if we had the driver tags. Where's Studio 397 at? Hopefully somebody's watching this video for Studio 397, huh? Probably not. Let's get some driver tags going on. This is where these would come in handy. People don't know these cars necessarily. So Artur Vieta in the BMW has got a little bit of company there out of Lucas Simfeter running in the fifth position in that Radical. Stephen Miller now getting back up on the horse there and battling Sergey Butsev. Stephen Miller in the McLaren gets back by as Sergey Butsev now falls back to the ninth position. So Stephen Miller closing in on Sergey. Sergey may have had some trouble here. He got off track here this a little bit earlier. This is going to scrub off some speed. He's been running a little bit wide right there, and he gets way, way wide into the kitty litter. That's going to allow Stephen Miller to close in and make that pass. So Will Dunbar indicating he's going to be making a pit stop. Bezrikov, I believe, is on pit lane. So Nikolai Bezhikov on pit lane. As we're taking a look at our race leader. So it takes a little while to get this car serviced. As Bezhikov has that preferred pit stall there. Will Dunbar also on pit lane. He's coming down pit lane as well, making a pit stop here at about the 23-minute mark. See Bezhikov coming back out on track. They're getting off track as he exited the pits. So Yapchev still has not made that pit stop, and we've got Will Dunbar on pit lane. Romo's on pit lane. Sergei Butsev on pit lane as well. Stephen Miller going to be coming down pit lane as well. So here's where the strategy is going to work its way in. Guys maybe changing those compounds and maybe running softs on this second run. I have a feeling Roman Yapchev, as long as he stayed out, it's probably on those medium tires, and he's going to switch to softs, and that will give him even a little bit faster car on this second run. Vandeven, Romo, and Miller all on pit lane. So once Roman Yapchev got the race lead, they're on the start. Actually, he started in P1, I believe. Bezhikov started in the second position. See Vandeven coming back out. And Roman has been able to run away with this thing. So Vandeven back out off pit lane, now running in P5 in the 51 car. I think he's actually in the 84, but it says 51 in the... See our race leader, Roman Yapchev, on pit lane. Lucas Simpfner still has not made a pit stop. So Lucas Simpfner and the Radical now our race leader in that 21 car. Roman Yapchev and Artie Vera both on pit lane. A couple of the radicals there, the teammates running together. Will Dunbar tail into the lead lap right now in the 7th position. And he knows that Luca has to make a pit stop. Take a look at Roman Yapchev coming back out off track or off pit lane onto the track, running in P2. Artevieira still on pit lane. Nikolai Bezhikov running in the 3rd position. So Simpson staying out here for a long time, that's for sure. A little bit older tires here for him, but seems like those tires are not giving up too badly, and we'll see what kind of changes he makes when he comes down pit lane. And that's exactly what he's doing right now in the Radical. He is coming down pit lane. So that long slog uphill to the pit stall. Kind of a unique pit lane here. You got to go up that hill and then back down. It's easy to speed. Now a little bit harder, I guess, in these cars since you're using the speed limiter. But I know in the stock cars, you do not have them. It's easy to speed when you come back downhill. Kind of misjudge that. So Yapchev running in the 2nd position, but he has got about a 8-second lead over Bezhikov. Vandeven is in 4th. Now Simpson on pit lane, technically the race leader. "17 minutes left to go. So Yapchev now back to the lead. He's got an 8.3-second lead over Bezhikov. Vandeven is in 3rd. Simpson 4th. Romo is in 5th. So a little swap there between with Artevieira now back to the 6th position. We'll take a look at him in the BMW back to P6, and he's got a little work to do to catch up with that Aston Martin. I'm not sure what's going on with that Aston Martin and that coloration there. I think he was running the Porsche before, so there may be some issues there. Sometimes we see that with the GT3 cars. On board here with Artevieira in the BMW. Vandeven here running in P3 of the 84 car. And he's definitely got some work to do to close back in on Bezhikov. So remember, Vandeven had gotten around Bezhikov on track, but the pit stops being the way they are, looks like Vandeven now having to play catch up here, trying to make it back to Bezhikov. Both those guys have some work to do to catch up to Roman Yapchev. They're going to need some help. Yapchev has pretty much been flawless. Vandeven in the Corvette. 12.8 seconds back to the race leader. So really guys are kind of spread out now. Just running the lap times versus racing each other on the track. So kind of go through the field here. Our race leader is Roman Yapchev with 15 minutes left to go in the race. Got a 9.6 second lead over P2, and that is Nikolai Bezhikov. P3 is Dennis Vandeven, 13.5 seconds back in that Corvette, number 84 car. Lucas Simpson running in the 4th position in the Radical, about 17.5 seconds back to the race leader. Number 21 car Look at this good tight battle here. Arthur Vieta and Spencer Romo. Vieta has gotten around Romo now, so he's picked up P5. Romo now back to the 6th position. So Arthur Vieta now in that BMW in P5. 22 seconds, 22 and a half seconds down to the race leader. Spencer Romo now back to the 6th position in the Aston Martin. Running in P7 is Will Dunbar in the Radical, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles scheme here. Wanted to get a little shout out to him on doing that work. He's got the shell on top somewhere. Yeah, there we go. That whole thing's the shell on the top. So he's doing a great job, man. Tell you what, he's really bumped up the game here. So painting skills. Have him start doing some stock cars for us. Take a look at the Will Dunbar at the driver's seat in there. Corey thinks put the TurnLeftTV logo on that. Right now, have a good run there, running in P7. Running in P8 is Stephen Miller in the Speed Details McLaren. And now Stephen about 83 seconds down to the race leader. And then running in the 9th position is Sergei Butsev. He has had a little bit of an eventful race there in the grass a few times. But nonetheless, in that Porsche, keeps slugging away. Always enjoy Sergei Butsev out here on the track. So the 911 right now running in P9. Take a look at that pass there. Arthur Vieta and Spencer Romo down the front stretch into the turn. And Vieta using that outside line in a little bit of overrun area and gets by Spencer Romo. So that was a pass a little bit earlier for the 5th position. 12 minutes left to go as Roman Yabtsev, 12.5 second lead over Nikolai Bezhikov. He is not holding back, man. He's continuing to extend that lead in spite of a huge lead for him. He came out here, said, I came here to do two things, man. Chew gum and kick some ass. And right now he's all out of bubble gum, huh? He is picking him up and putting him down. 14.1 second lead. So he is... As long as he keeps that thing between the lines, pointed in the right direction, he's going to have this race in the bag here. So 11 minutes left to go. Nikolai Bezhikov in the 23 car, running in the second position. So good points day here for him. May not end up getting the win, but I tell you what, a second place finish definitely going to help that championship. Dennis Van de Ven here in the Corvette. Got a little bit of a gap there on P4. So Van de Ven in the Corvette right now running in the third position, but he does got some company. Simfeter in the Radical. Starting to put him in his sights. And that battle may end up heating up here quite a bit before it's over with. 10 minutes left to go. Simfeter's got a lot of time to close that gap. Take a look at that 1v1 battle there. 1.5 second gap between the two of them. Simfeter might be on a little bit different tires than Van de Ven, but another thing to think about. I wish that they had that information. That'd be great. Probably too unrealistic to put that information on whether they have soft tires or medium tires or hard tires on. Given Studio 397's, I'm getting word in the chat session that they're not going to do driver tags because too unrealistic. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to end up showing them. I'm going to send them some YouTube video clips of Blancpain GT3 and IMSA GT3 where they're using names there to kind of point out to the crowd who's who. Now we're down to a second gap between those two. Helps the broadcasters out too when you have the driver tags there, when you're doing that in-car view and turn around looking and you put those driver tags up. It helps the audience see who you're talking about. Seems like a lot of things Studio 397 was working on now they've kind of backed off from since they've sold that stock car part of it. I suggest to you they probably were considering that maybe a stock car thing. Look at that, man. 0.7 of a second between these two. Great battle here. Vanderven got what it takes to be able to hold off the charge from the radical Lucas Simpner. Simpner is barreling down right now on Vanderven. These guys both holding serve with the Mercedes up there, so Simpner still closing in on Dennis Vanderven. Rapsev still continuing to lead here on his way to a victory. We'll see if we can't get a nice little screenshot of him while we have a chance. Unless things change, I don't see having to do another screenshot for another driver. Bezhkov running in the second position. Out of the back of his car. That's getting interesting back there behind him. So overrun there just a little bit, using all of the track and then some. Running in P2. 6.5 minutes left to go. Vanderven still holding on there. Down to 2.7 seconds. Vanderven trying to hang on as you see that charge. Lucas Simpner running behind in the fourth position. Vieira and Romo really have not been able to separate themselves from each other. Vieira running in P5, Romo about 1.1 seconds back to P5, running in the sixth position. Sergei Butsev having some issues here late in the run. Oh, he gets a right side tires. Oh, hard lick there for the Porsche. Sergei Butsev comes around. Oh, man, he was carrying a lot of speed, and he got the right side tires off into the grass right here, and it upsets the balance of the car. You see that thing jumping around, and the back end came around on him, and he smacks the wall and then backs it into the wall as it spun around. Man, tell you what, that was pretty crazy right there. And I'll tell you, we're taking a look at 0.7 of a second between P3, P4. With just under 5 minutes left to go. Yapchev continuing to lead here. 22-second gap there between he and P2. He is picking them up and putting them down. On his way to victory here, 4.5 minutes away. Since getting the race lead, it has been all Roman Yapchev. Vanderven running, or is Bezrikov running the second position. Vanderven is third, Simpner fourth. Artivieta is in fifth. Spencer Romo running in the sixth position. Will Dunbar seventh. Miller now in the eighth position. Butsev running in ninth. So he's on cruise control in the McLaren. Four-tenths of a second separating P4, P3. Take a look at Lucas Simpner, and he's starting to put a lot of pressure here on that 84 car. On board with Lucas Simpner and the Radical. Just over 3 minutes left to go. 1.8 second gap between P2, P3, so a little bit of cushion there for Nikolai Bezrikov, especially if these guys start getting, worrying about each other. It's going to help him out. Vanderven looking like he might be stepping up the game here a little bit. Opening up a little bit of a gap on Simpner. 1.3 second gap over P4. And he is closing in on Bezrikov. So Bezrikov not a guarantee now. It's about a 4/10 of a second there. It's 1.3 to Bezrikov. So this is not over, man. We might have a three-way battle for the second position before it's over with. Here's Bezrikov in the Mercedes. Looking out of the back of his car, he's got a little bit of cushion there. So we're probably going to have another lap here to figure it out. There's Roman Yapchev. He is on his way to race victory. About a minute and a half left to go. Bezrikov, Vanderven, Simpner. About a minute left here as Yapchev is on his way to race victory. Vanderven closing in on Bezrikov too, so this getting tight here. Look at this. A little bit of a battle there, getting around the lap car. Good tight battle here for... I tell you what, Vanderven closing in on Bezrikov. This thing is getting crazy here. Vanderven closing in on Bezrikov. He might need another lap here to get it done. Vanderven trying to hit any way he can to get around. Might have another lap here to go. We saw the Porsche spin around. Look at this, man. Three-way battle. Three-way battle for the, really the second position. He's got a whole lap here to figure it out. That lower right frame, that's where the race is at. My heavens, man. We'll have to definitely come back to that as we're going to get this McLaren coming away with the race victory here. Bezrikov hold these guys off in the Mercedes. Vanderven looking on the inside. Vandeven wanting to get around Bezhikov here. Vandeven there on the side of Bezhikov. This thing ain't over. This is a three-way battle here. Look at this. Vandeven trying to throw that car into the turn. Bezhikov holding on side by side there. Oh, a little bit of contact between the Mercedes and the Corvette. Holy smokes. This is for the second position here. Three-way battle here as Bezhikov holding on. My heavens, man. And we're going to get the race victory here for Roman Yapchev. So congratulations to him on the race victory. Look at this, man, as these guys battling for the second position. Vandeven, oh, into the back of Bezhikov. Oh, Bezhikov in the wall. Bezhikov in the wall. Vandeven in the wall. Lucas Simpner going to get around these guys. Lucas Simpner going to get around. Watch this. These guys get into one another, and Lucas Simpner going to get around as Vandeven gets off kilter, and he gets into the tire barrier, and Lucas Simpner going to end up picking up the second position. Oh, my heavens, man. We'll take a look at this again. Oh, right there. Into the 23 car, and then scooching around right here as the 21 gets by. My heavens, man. Oh, my heavens. And the Roman Yapchev gets the race victory in the McLaren. Simpner finishes second. Vandeven third. Bezhikov fourth position. Vieira finishes in fifth. My heavens, man. So Roman Yapchev my heavens, man. All right, man, we'll take a look at the results. That was absolutely crazy right there. Roman Yapchev gets the race victory. Nikolai Bezhikov finishes in the second position. Dennis Vandeven finishes in third. Artur Vieira finishes in the fourth position in the BMW. Lucas Simpner in the Radical. That ain't right, man. Is that qualifications? Let's try that again. There we go. There's the correct, updated, official finishing results there. Roman Yapchev finishes in the first position. Lucas Simpner second. Dennis Vandeven finishes in third. Nikolai Bezhikov finishes fourth. Artur Vieira fifth. Spencer Romo finishes in the sixth position in the Aston Martin. Will Dunbar seventh in the Radical. Stephen Miller finishes in the eighth position. Sergei Butsev finishes in ninth. So congratulations to Roman Yapchev to getting the race victory. One of our Russian drivers in P1 gets the victory here at Road America. What a great race for him, and a heck of a battle there for the second position, three-way battle. That Mercedes there, I think the tires were just kind of used up, and he did a great job, but got a little bit of contact with he and Dennis Vandeven, and then both those guys give up that spot. So a heck of a run there for Roman Yaptsev. Don't forget, a little bit later, man, we got Talladega and the Saturday Night Thunder headed your way. That's right, the Cup cars at Dega. Should be a great race. Last night's Xfinity race was fantastic. We had 19 drivers out and a nice big field there for some stock car action. I think we'll have a big field here tonight in the Cup cars. Let's take a look at the schedule here in the GT3 series and see what's coming up. Adelaide coming up next week on October the 9th. Great street circuit there in Australia. Southern Australia, to be exact. Portland Raceway coming up on Portland International, actually coming up on 23 October. So we'll be off on that precursor there. I guess that'd be the 16th of October. We'll be off that weekend. October the 30th, Dubai GP night. And then Silverstone coming up on November the 6th. Singapore Marina Bay coming up on November the 13th. Finish out the season. Don't forget the Bushwhackers coming up next week. It's Charlotte Motor Speedway, 98 laps in that great mile-and-a-halfer. Race number 7 of the season, and it should be a fun one. October 8th. Starts at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and of course it'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV. Tonight's race has been brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. Great for rFactor, too, if you're interested in a server for your league. Great self-managed server packages available for you. Not only that, but also web hosting, online store hosting, VPS hosting. You want to check that out. That's EliteHostingUSA.com. I want to say thank you so much for coming in. Man, an eventful race, man. I'll tell you what, it got a little bit boring there. Not a little bit boring, but it lacked the intensity until that last run. And arguably that last 5 minutes was absolutely crazy between Dennis Vandeven, Nikolai Bezrikov, and Lucas Sinfter. Those guys battling it out for a race win. Or, excuse me, the second place position. So Lucas Sinfter won that battle and got P2. So thanks for coming in. Always appreciate people coming out and watching the races. Peace to everybody. Don't forget to share my videos with all your friends. And please hit that thumbs up button. Invite your friends to come over here to TurnLeftTV and check us out. We're getting really close there to being on the backside of that, moving our way to 1,000. I need 400 of your friends to come out. All right, hey, thank you for coming in. That's going to do it for us tonight here on TurnLeftTV. We'll see you next time. Until then, I'm out of here.